Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shamayo, and this is MeWe Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Pacific Northwest and many online, and we meet our practitioners and vendors. We set it up so you can meet our practitioners and vendors before you meet them at an event. I'm excited to be here today with Danny Guthrie. Danny, it's lovely to be with you.
Thank you for having me today. I'm really excited to be here.
You are so welcome. So, tell us what you do. You do things at the fairs and you do all this other great stuff that's not at the fairs. So, tell us about all those things.
Yeah, well, I just opened a storefront in downtown Paulsbo, and it's kind of a unique space. I myself have a room where I offer Reiki and tarot readings. Um, and I also have a choice where at the end of your Reiki session, you actually get a tarot reading that is through your chakras. So we can not only just kind of go through what happened after the session, but also, the cards help to inform, and that's kind of a unique thing that I do. Um, and in my space, my background is in music, especially music education. So I use a lot of instruments, a lot of shamanic percussion tools to help get people into a meditative state. Um, and then, what else? In my space, I have an extra room with another practitioner from Dogfish Moon Sanctuary, Frances Malone, and she does infusions and has massages. And I sell her products here, her tonics and tinctures and her face products. And then because my background is in music education, I'm also offering music and mindfulness classes for children that help kids get from their head to their heart and alleviate anxiety and things like that. Um, and the size of my space, I there was a lot of room to include retail, which I didn't originally intend, but it has been just a beautiful journey, discovering that this is not the first lifetime I've been a merchant of this kind. As I'm discovering through my dreams, remembering past lives, and I have a lot of inventory that invokes the imagination and promotes self empowerment and cultivates connection to community and Mother Earth. So I also have a lot of feathers, and overalls are one of my focus in the retail area, as well as ritual items, books, tarot decks. Um, yeah, lots of
Oh,
fun
well,
instruments.
so like just going kind of wandering backwards a little bit, how did you know in this life that you wanted to open a storefront? You said it was really new. And then like how did you open your gifts? What was kind of a little bit of that journey?
Yeah. Um, well, on my website, I go into it a little bit more, but the initial calling was I was in a state of, on this hamster wheel in life of, responding or reacting to stresses in life in ways that weren't serving me anymore. And I was running, and a voice said, "We'll take care of the hands, you do the rest." And I didn't know what Reiki was. I'd never had that kind of an experience before. And you know how the universe works. Once you listen and you act on it, you start getting more signs and more signs, and you get pulled in the direction that you're meant to be in. And so I ended up finding out what Reiki was, and continued to find teachers and take classes. Tarot has become, I mean, I'm like a sponge. I just can't get enough for the past, I'd say it's been about 8 years now, practicing on myself and family. And I also started, I've always loved yoga. And at Kitsap Hot Yoga here in Paulsbo, I was given the opportunity by my friend Julia, who owns it, and I was able to do a series for the chakras, connecting tarot to the chakras with sound baths and kind of that journey aspect, the shamanic aspect of taking people through journeys using instruments and also imagination. So I started with doing a series there, and then this space came up that I saw it in downtown Paulsbo, and it was too good to pass up. I just took the leap. I've been home with my kids for 10 years now, so it was a leap.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, how great. Well, I know we talked about you maybe walking us around the store. Did you want to take us through and show us some
Yeah.
things? And
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. So right now we're in my room. This is my power animal. But I've got my Reiki room here, and you can see some of my instruments that I use. And this is my altar with some of my crystal bowls. In your sessions, I have, rattles, singing bowls, drums, some chimes, wind chimes up there. And I have a little tarot table over here. You can see I was starting to do that for myself today. And it's a very calming space. We do possible art walks too, the second Saturday of every month. So back here, I've got my rotating altar, which coming up this season is going to be Celebrate Yourself with Virgo season. All of the ways that you can take a pause and celebrate how far you've come and not get caught up in that process of adding things onto your plate every time you make new space. So here's I've got a lot of kids' instruments down there, kids' mindfulness, and tarot decks and books, and lots of fun clothes. And then when you come into the front of the store, um, got lots of beautiful jewelry. I try to promote businesses that are helping the environment. So, and also communities who are making the jewelry and different items, ceremonial chocolates, that they are being compensated fairly for everything um, that they're making. Oh, and over there, I've got you can see that wishing well. A neat thing that we do is my kids decorated this well, and it actually functions and works like a real wishing well. You can um, bring it up, and kids put in their change, or whoever wants to put in their change, and then every equinox we donate the money that we've gotten to a cause. And so my daughter Rosie wrote a cute little essay here about the Humane Society and um, why it's important that they receive help. And so there you go.
Oh, how sweet. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Everything is
Thank
so
you.
beautiful. You're welcome.
Yeah, and you can see the mandalas in there. I forgot to mention another neat thing we do is I bring in local artists. So I have a mandala maker coming in and an artist who creates those cute little bees that you see. And for classes for children and adults, and they come in and people get to make their own art. And while they're creating the art, I play a sound bath for them. So it's kind of a combination between art and meditation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, how great.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, so sweet. Well, maybe just while you're here, we may be going back to the other space if you want to head back over
Yeah,
there. So what is your address? Where are you in Poulsbo, and what is your website and all those things?
yeah. So my website is entropyhealing.com, and I'm located on 390 Northeast Hostmark Street in downtown Poulsbo, 98370. And it's just off of Front Street. If you've been downtown, there's the marina right there and the big church that plays the church bells. I'm right there on the corner. I'm in the downstairs of the building.
Great. And yeah, how great to be in a town where they do the art walk every month. That's great. I know we also
Yeah.
talked about the tarot cards that you use, the tarot cards that
Mhm.
you use at the end of sessions. Did you want to tell us anything about those or show us those?
Yeah, well, I often will use, the Light Seers Tarot. Um, and I just love it by Chris Ann. She's fantastic. She's actually got some new books coming out for her deck. But I will often do a spread for your chakras to kind of go through and clarify some things that we discovered in the Reiki session. And I'll also determine your life path number and talk about the associated tarot card with that and the blueprint of how to kind of navigate your own life's journey using your life path number and tarot card. And I connect a lot with angels. And I have an angel deck that I like to often end with that is just,
Mm.
there are no bad cards. They're just,
Yeah, it's sweet.
yeah, warm and fuzzy.
Oh, that's great. I just for people that don't know that deck, can you show us a few of the cards just so people get an idea of what those are like? If
Oh,
they're still
sure. Yeah. Well, the card I pulled for today for this meeting was the Page of Wands. Um, we've got Two of Wands. Um, this is a beautiful one, the Star.
Yeah, these are beautiful cards. I can see how the style of the cards feels similar to the aesthetic that you have around you.
Yeah.
That you create.
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
try and make
beautiful.
this a place of calm. When people walk in, they say, I love the calm energy. So I find that a lot of my clients, when they come, that's kind of what they're in need of, calming
Oh,
down the
that's
nervous system. Yeah.
yeah, that's great. So you do all these different things. Are you coming to our in-person fairs, doing our online events? Like what things are you doing with us and what will you have available at wherever you're sharing your work?
Yeah. Well, it's always been like a carrot of mine. I'll know that I am, really doing it when I finally have my own booth at the MeWe fairs. So my first live event will be in Bellevue. Um, and I'll be offering tarot readings there and bringing in some of my retail as well. And so far, that's all I have on my schedule, but I definitely once I get, my balance and routine with the family, they're going to be there with me too. So
Yeah, great.
once I get that balance, I'm signing up for a
And
lot more.
and when people do a private session with you, is it an hour? Is it longer than an hour? So people, it seems like if they're gonna, like some people from the Seattle side, right? They travel out to see you, there might be something longer they want to do too. So yeah, what is that typically
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, so I do half-hour tarot sessions, but for Reiki, you can choose an hour and a half for 155 or 2 hours for 200, and that includes the tarot reading. Another thing I didn't mention is if you wanted to come out like in a group, I just had my first group event this past week. It was a dentistry practice, and they wanted to provide like a team bonding,
Hmm?
unique experience. So we did a sound bath and then alternating massages and tarot readings, just little mini sessions between myself and Dogfish Moon masseuse. And so that was kind of a fun event. So that's a neat thing for people coming across the water if you have a birthday or a girl's day or a retirement or a wedding or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great, great. Very exciting. Maybe go ahead and share your website again. If there's any other contact info you want to share.
Yeah, it's entropyhealing.com. And I do have a phone number.
And we
I
should
can't
spell that
remember.
too, I guess. I was a scientist, so I know how to spell entropy,
Yeah.
but probably we should spell it for everybody
Yeah,
too.
it's ENTROPY healing.com.
Okay, great.
And if you want to email me, it's Dani, DANI, at entropyhealing.com. And that would be the best way to get a hold of me. I have an Instagram and also a Facebook for Entropy Healing.
Great, great. Well, well, your energy and the space you've created and what you're doing is just lovely. I'm so excited to have you connected to the MeWe fairs and have your offerings available to more people.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I've been really excited to talk with you and be a part of this organization. I've been spreading the word, so I'm
Thank you.
excited to be there.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, thank you so much. All right. And all of you watching and listening, you can find out more about all of our events at mewefairs.com, MEWEFAIRS.com. Thanks, Dani.
Thank you, everyone.